The next part of your notes you can title Point. By the end of this video, you should be able to answer the questions. What does the point do? What information should you include in your point? And where can you find key words that you should include in your point? This is what you should write in your notes underneath Point. The point restates the question as a statement and answers it in your own words. Here are some other things that you also need in your notes. The point should also include the author's name, the title of the text, and the text type. We all know what the author's name is and the title of the text, but what is a text type? The text type is whatever kind of literature you're reading. So maybe you're reading a book, maybe you're reading a short story, maybe you're reading a poem. All of those are text types. Try and see what other text types you can come up with. Try and come up with at least 3 before you move on in the video. As we continue to talk about what a point is in a PEE paragraph, let's look back at our example from last video. We looked at the question, in the novel, The Breadwinner, what is the main character like? And if we look at the point to the paragraph that we wrote, you can see that it reads, in the novel The Breadwinner by Deborah Ellis, the main character, Parvana, is made out to be a very brave person. In this point, you can see both the text title and the author's name. And if you look further, you will see that we use words that are in the original question in the point. We do this to draw attention to the fact that we are directly answering the question. It's very important that you always use words from the original question in your point in order to draw attention to the fact that you are in fact answering the question that was asked. Let's take a look at some other points that we could possibly write to some other questions. So for the question, in Harry Potter, who is the main bad guy or antagonist? This would be a good point. In the book Harry Potter by J.K. Rowling, the main bad guy or antagonist is Voldemort. In here you can see the text title, the author's name, and if we go further you will see some of the same words from the question in the point. Let's take a look at another example. What is the source of Luke Skywalker's abilities in Star Wars? And you can see that the point for the PE paragraph that we will write about Luke Skywalker is this. In the movie Star Wars by George Lucas, the source of Luke Skywalker's special abilities is called the Force. Here you can see that we mention the title of the film and we mention the director of the film. We also use some of the key words in the question in the point. Here are 3 examples of questions on the left and possible points on the right to answer the questions. All of these questions are based on the book Wonder. Which one of these 3 is a good point and which one is a not very good point? Go ahead and pause the video and see if you can identify the best point. Hopefully you identified that C is the best point. It has the author's name, the title of the book, and it directly answers the question using words from the original question. Go ahead and answer these 3 questions in your notes. Make sure you do this before moving to the next activity. Now that we've studied the point in a PEE paragraph, we're going to write some sample points to some of these questions. In your notebook, you need to open up to a section where you have blank pages on both the left and the right. Once you have blank pages on both the left and the right, you're going to write 4 questions, just like you see here, giving yourself plenty of room to write a PEE paragraph for each one of these questions. Once you have all 4 questions in your notebook, go ahead and write a point for each one. Writing a point for each one of these questions may require some extra research. Use Google and Wikipedia in order to find the information that you need and write your point.